so here we are. Finally got my bike pretty much set up the way I want it for some little mini adventure riding. So a couple of quick things I'll just point out. Like I said, I'm not a huge mod guy, at least mods from the standpoint that the motorcycle can't be put back in its original state pretty easily. So I'll start off in the front. Got some tie down, I don't know if these are D-rings or what, but this is where you'd put your ratchet strap. These reflectors were actually reversed. So this one was on this side, this one was on this side, but they interfered with this. So I just swapped the two, flipped them upside down. So it doesn't affect anything, turning and so forth. Next thing, probably one of my favorite accessories is this Zeta windscreen. And I'll try to remember to put most of these things, at least a link to them in the description there. But this is the Zeta windscreen. I really like it. As you can see, it's very tough. Another good thing about this windscreen, it can be taken off the main subframe assembly just by removing these 4 Allen head bolts. Also, this windscreen can be flipped, so you have a wider wind blockage up top. And as you can see, this actually replaces your bar clamp top area here. I forget what you call it exactly, but goes on real easy. Took maybe 30 minutes. Very strong. You could probably pick the whole bike up with this. Next is my round mount for the cell phone. And you can see this actually bolts and sandwiches in between the mounting bolt on the rear view mirror, so it doesn't take up any space on your bar, which is actually quite crowded on this particular bike. But you just simply take off your rear view mirror, loosen this clamp nut and the mounting nut, slide this little small ball mount here in between the two, and then just tighten it back down. Of course, it's just a little cover to maybe dress it up, or keep it from getting quite as rusty. So you just slide this back down and just kind of hide everything. So it looks good. Then of course, just your round cell phone mount. You can see I just got an iPhone in here. It's kind of spring loaded. Seems to work pretty good. Hadn't had a problem with it. The good thing about a round mount, at least in my opinion, you have these 2 balls here, so there's a lot of articulation in how and what angle you put your phone at, or whatever it is, your GPS unit. Some of them will fit on here also. Now, you can see there's a little play here. I cut some fuel line and just kind of slid it over these arms just to give it a little bit of a rubber cushion in case the phone gets over to one side. But hadn't had any problem with that. Now next, this is just a cheap Amazon purchase, but I really like this charger. And you can see here it's got USB and USB-C. So you can actually charge your cell phone with this. So I really like it. It's just cheap. We'll see how it holds up, but it was real simple to install. Actually, the mount for it's the same as the round mount. You can actually mount it on your rear view, but you can see here, I just simply mounted mine through this hole that was already here in the round mount. Another good thing about this, has an on and off. As you can see here, when I turned it on, you can actually see the voltage that your battery and your bike's producing. When I get home, I just simply disconnect this, as this runs to the battery. And I just plug my trickle charger in here, and this is snaked down in between my fork tubes and running back to the battery. And then when I get ready to go, I just plug it into the charger. So really like this. Haven't tested it big time, but we'll kind of see how it works out. Now, next is the rig gear. I think this is what they call the Hurricane tank bag. Really like it. It's kind of got a little clear cover here to put your cell phone in. It holds a pretty good bit of stuff. It's not huge. You can see here, if I'm just sitting on the back, this is right on my stomach, sort of. It is mounted to the subframe and around the front of the back here. Comes up either side. The good thing though, this is also kind of a quick detach. So if you wanted to disconnect it, take it into your hotel room or in your house or whatever, then it works pretty good. You just simply hit these quick release buckles and the whole thing comes off. Just got an old cloth here, kind of protect the top of the seat a little bit. But I really like this rig gear. Supposedly pretty much waterproof. And here in a minute, I'll actually open this up and we'll look at the inside here and see. Moving back, I have the AXP tail rack. I really like it. It's not metal. It's actually like a really thick plastic, probably Delrin. But it gives you two good grab handles for your bike. And then, of course, just tons of mounting options. All kinds of holes all in it. And then, of course, the rig gear Hurricane tail bag. And again, I'll open this up in a minute. Kind of give you a look at that. Last but not least, have the rig gear. I believe these are Enduro saddlebags. So these are not really what you would call waterproof. I think they're water resistant. You notice the difference on the rig gear. The Hurricane waterproof kind of have this little gray patch, as you can see. And they're a little different material, kind of rubberized. Whereas this is just basically maybe a 500D nylon. But I'll open all those up and just kind of give you a peek at the inside at what they look like. Further on the back, here have the Serbi frame guards. Those are real easy to install, pretty cheap. They're kind of held to it with just O-rings. They basically hook around this little tab, go around the back, and then hook onto this one. One or two bolts to replace. I think on this side it's just one. And of course the Serbi's skid plate, which I really like. Notice a good clean oil in there. Looks good. So we've already had one oil change, and I think this bike's a little over 300 miles. So that's basically it. Probably about all I'll do to this bike, at least for now. Of course, the other frame guard on this side. But really like this bike. Rides really well. I'm about 5'10", 185. So a lot of the complaints people have about the suspension being soft, I don't really have. It is softer, of course, but not a big deal for me. This is not a motocross bike, so I don't have a lot to really worry about there. So let's open up the I'll just open up the tank, the tail, and the saddlebags all at once, and you can kind of see what they look like. Of course, I have the Harbor Freight, just little combination locks on them, just keeping them somewhat secure. So anyway, I'll open these up and we'll see what they look like. Alright, so as far as the tank bag goes, take off your lock if you want one. 2 zippers on each side. Another thing I like, they just kind of have this neoprene lid flap that kind of goes down, kind of keeps your zipper somewhat clean. But you can see on the inside here, if you want to put your cell phone in here, you just pull this Velcro loose, put your phone in here, and it would still kind of work. Inside, you know, just your normal stuff in here. You'd probably haul some wet wipes, Never know when you'll need those. Of course, I always keep a headlamp. Use on all my bikes, charging cords. Of course, for the cell phone charger. And just a few latex gloves. Those all come in handy. Some extra sunglasses wrapped up. And then there's a little pocket here. Be good for your insurance card or whatever. But when you're done, you just close this up. Pull your zippers down on each side. And as you can see, maybe you can see here, they come together and you can put your lock in here. And then you just roll your flap down. Your zipper's hidden really well. Kind of keeps dust and moisture out. So, really nice tank bag. Alright, so same thing with the tail bag here. It has some molly loops on top. So you could bungee something down or molly it if you wanted to do that. But same deal. Just pull your lock out. Unzip all the way around. Roll your flap up. You can see the inside here. So have my Airmoto little trail side pump, air pump for the tires. It's kind of stored in here. I may try to use that actually later today when we make this, when I go further on this test ride here. But this seems to work really good. I've been kind of testing a little bit, and that just perfectly, you know, fits right here in your zipper pocket or your zipper pouch. Another one up here. This one just has some Velcro tie down straps that kind of hook in the bottom of this to strap down. So you can see on the inside here, plenty of room. Right now my drone is sitting in here. It's not huge, but gets the job done. I really like the fact it's not too big. And of course we just zip this together. Again, your lock will go through here real easily. And then you just fold your flaps down. And of course I have some bungee straps just kind of already on here. Just in case, you know, I wanted to hook a jacket in here or something of that nature, you know, while I'm riding. Camera with a tripod. And so that's pretty much it. Also the kind of the Enduro, I think, saddlebags, again, I'll put links in. Just unzip these down. I just got some big beach towels kind of stuck in here right now, just helping them when they come to you. You know, of course they're folded up and you know, when for shipping. And so kind of just got some beach towels in each one of these right now just to kind of keep their shape. But again, I like these. And again, the zippers come together, allowing you to use your locks if that's what you want to do. These are pretty versatile. They got an expansion here, let them out a little more. And then of course these are kind of compression straps. This goes around the subframe. And then in the back, there's a pretty heavily velcroed pouch here that runs all the way down to the bottom. So you could stick spare tubes or tools or whatever in here. So, like I said, really liking these. Another standpoint, there's one attachment here to the subframe, which I am keeping an eye on. As you can see, the header pipe to the muffler is running right on the other side here. So it'll be interesting to kind of test this today, make sure I'm not like melting or burning my strap into it. I don't think it'll be a problem, but we'll see. But these, just that one subframe strap and then a strap here that's kind of running up and attaching in here to this metal bracket to your tail bag. And that's really it. They come off easily. So the only big problem with these, you are kind of sitting on the strap. That could aggravate some people, I guess. Doesn't really bother me. I'm normally about this area up, but stuck an old piece of green army mattress in here just to kind of keep this from abrading my beautiful Honda red leather seat. So anyway, kind of side view, front view. See, these don't really stick out too much. They're pretty in line with the bike, so really like those. Of course, last but not least, just want to kind of talk about it for a minute. It's the Acerbis. It's kind of the bigger extended range tank. What I liked about this was pretty much your plastics. Nothing really changes. It was pretty easy install. A lot of guys get the black. I kind of like this white, or what they call natural, a little better. You can actually see your kind of your fuel level in here, which is not such a big deal with this bike, as it has a digital fuel gauge, but still nice to have. You know, you never know when that display could go out on you or something. So just kind of good. You know, of course, you see the fuel levels here. When you see it down in this area, which is getting kind of close to the bottom is kind of runs down to about here. You know, it'd be nice to know. You would at least know that you're getting low on fuel. So really like this bike. Haven't made any other changes to it, and not confident that I really will. One other mod I have looked at, a lot of people are putting the I think Flatlands makes a pretty good radiator guard. That might be something in the future. You can see from the way this radiator is kind of sticking out, if you had a fall, you know, toward this side, you know, you could get a branch or a rock could come in here and possibly bust your radiator. But hopefully I don't have that issue. Try not to fall and wreck my bikes too much. I don't really like doing that. Now, one of the big things people typically do right away is put a good heavy duty handguard. I've never been a big handguard guy. Again, nothing wrong with it. Just a lot of them are janky and kind of hard to really set up and have a good clean look to it. But I may do that in the future. But I just typically try to be careful as much as I can riding. These little factory ones, there's not a whole lot to them. May keep a couple of briars or something off of you, but that's something I may look at into the future. But again, just not a tremendous amount, you know, of real estate, because most time these handguards come in and hook somewhere in the middle, so it's a little tough. But anyway, today, see, we have 319 miles. There's the fuel gauge I was talking about. Still works fine with the bigger tank. It just stays full a lot longer before it starts dropping. It's about the only change. So 319 miles. You see I'm getting like 61.7 miles to the gallon on this bike. You know, that's could go up and down a lot, you know, depending on your riding style, where you're riding. But otherwise, you know, it's pretty much done. So we're gonna do a little fire tower run today, and it's a beautiful fall day. Right now it's about 55 degrees, and so it should be a fun ride. Be a good test for kind of all the mods, or whatever you want to call it, that I've done to this bike. I think I mentioned in a previous video, there are rim locks on this bike, so you can see the heavy spoke weights. I do like my tires to be balanced. So let's fire it up, and let's ride up on the mountain, see what it looks like up there this time of year. All right, let's hit it. All right, so no problems melting my strap here. It's warm, but you know, it's close to the pipe here. But this is really not hot. But good ride there up to the fire tower. Everything just worked in good symphony, just like I thought it would. So nice bike, handles really well, and all these accessories seem to work perfectly. Especially letting the air pressure down a bit before getting on gravel and loose stuff is really just a big benefit, at least to the handling of this bike. Hey girl, here's my baby chicken. Come on, come here. Good evening. You glad I'm home? All right, guys, so that's about it for the video here on this. So if you got any questions about the mods and stuff on this bike that I've done, and like I said, I'll try to put links to everything kind of in the description there. And so you guys just let me know what you think. Otherwise, me and Tiny here, we're going in and eat some supper. Well, I'm going in.